Hello everyone, it's Morgan Hasn't Seen, we like to sing, and we have come to the end of our Keanu Reeves little series on the show. Jeannine, are you excited to be done with Keanu Reeves?
Not really. Kind of like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. I wish we were doing more Keanu Reeves movies, but alas, we are not. We finished all the John Wicks.
We did.
That was great. What did you force me to watch this week?
Well, as you know, we have our bonus film after these runs.
I do know that, but does everybody
Yes.
else, is the question.
Well, they do now. So we watched all the John Wicks, and now our bonus film is the classic Keanu Reeves film, Point Break.
Which I had not seen. That is the
Of
point
course.
of the whole show.
Yes, the bonus is also something Morgan hasn't seen. And
Yeah,
it's
well-
usually related to the series we just finished. So, yeah.
That is why the show is called Morgan Hasn't Seen, because I, Morgan, have not seen. And you, it could also be known as Jeannine Forces People, or Jeannine Forces Movies, or something along the lines of that. I don't think that's as good a title, because it doesn't
roll off the tongue. No.
No, but yeah, that is Jeannine. You are Jeannine.
I am.
And you force me to watch movies that I haven't seen that I really should have seen by now.
But so far, you're enjoying yourself.
I am
stop
very much
saying it like
enjoying
it's some kind of torture, because you've
Hey.
enjoyed what you've seen thus far.
Whoever said force was torture? I'm not saying it's violent. I'm
You
just
make
saying
me
it's
sound like a
nice
terrible
force.
person.
No, never a terrible person. It's pleasant force. It's
Okay.
like, go on, do it. You have
You
to
won't-
do it.
You won't be saying that in a few weeks.
No, I won't. I'll be hating every minute of it, and I will be very unhappy with you. I love how I've already sort of got in my mind that I'm just not going to enjoy the whole Fast and Furious stuff that we've got
in
coming up.
anticipation of Hobbs and Shaw, which I am very excited about.
And I couldn't care
Morgan,
less.
Morgan is definitely going to be forced to watch all of the Fast and Furious films.
Look, that's true. We are at the end of our second little series of Morgan Hasn't Seen right now. And these two, I have... The force has been there in as much as it's a case of you saying, oh, we should watch this for the show. Okay. But with the Fast and Furious, it'd be like, oh, do I have to watch another one of these stupid-ass car movies?
But... hey, Point Break is kind of setting you up for the first Fast and Furious film. Because
okay,
essentially,
how so?
The Fast and the Furious is Point Break, but with cars.
But, okay, so it's immediately worse because really the best thing about Point Break is the surfing.
Okay.
I don't think... I can't remember the last time I watched a surfing movie. It was certainly... It didn't involve as much police work and detective work and a shark.
That's like every surfing movie that has come out is usually involves some kind of shark attack.
That's what they should put in the inevitable remake of Jaws. It should just be a surfing movie.
Yeah.
They should get Keanu back in the remake of Jaws. It's not even a remake of Jaws. If anything, it's like a remake of other shark movies. But with surfing. That's not what Point Break is, though. Point Break doesn't have a shark in it at all.
No,
Point Break
sharks.
just has glorious surfing in it.
It does.
And glorious Patrick Swayze.
Oh, he's wonderful.
And even better, Keanu Reeves. Keanu actually outshines Patrick Swayze in this movie.
You think so?
I think so, and I like Patrick Swayze. Admittedly, not my favourite Patrick Swayze role.
What's your favorite Patrick Swayze
Probably
role?
still Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
Just because he's like properly romantic leading man in that.
Yes.
And
he
which
has
is what I
he has
think
a song
he
on
does
the
really well.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
She's like the wind. We do like to sing on Morgan Hasn't
We do.
Seen.
We love to sing. I have probably sung every single intro on the show. And we do like to sing. It's in our blood, Jeannine,
it
somehow.
So
I don't know why. People from my part of the world don't sing a lot.
no, they don't. Especially the cops, which I've been promised in all these musicals you've shown me.
Yeah, there's been no singing police officers.
No.
In the musicals of the
Bedknobs
of the
and broomsticks.
1960s.
And Oliver
Bedknobs and
promised
broomsticks,
me dancing British cops, and when I went there, I was very disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no dancing. There was dancing police officers in Bedknobs and Broomsticks when we did that for It's a Wonderful Podcast, which is, of course, the main show that you can find on this podcast feed as well, on all your podcast providers. What a great plug. Seamless. And then I've just ruined it by saying what a great plug and seamless. But that's what I like to do.
So,
it's called being meta, Jeannine. I don't know if you were aware.
Yes, I am aware. That's the whole point of being meta.
It kind of not.
Self-aware.
Yes, we're double
Ayo.
meta.
Yes.
Is
this a new record for us?
Probably.
Starting a
yeah.
tangent this early?
Probably, yeah. Some people may not like this sort of over-explanation-y meta type of humour. I happen to love it. It may annoy some people. I do it all the time on It's a Wonderful Podcast.
Well, guess what?
And Nolan often looks at me as though saying, what are we talking about right now? And I'm just saying, let's just roll with it. Let's just roll with it and get all silly, because silliness is great.
Well, guess what? This is our show, so we can
It
do
is.
whatever the hell we want.
Damn it. You're not going to force... Well, Jeannine's going to force me to do what?
Yeah,
some
apparently.
Stuff, no one else is. No one else is.
We are pretty ridiculous. But
Evidently.
Morgan,
Yeah.
did you expect this movie to be as ridiculous as it tend to get?
Yes, but not in the way it does.
Okay.
Because... Now, this may sound... I apologise, first of all, for any ridiculous noises that you can maybe hear in the background of the recording. Not my fault, for some reason. It's a busy morning. Who the hell can be a... I can't stop the world from living. Sometimes
Maybe I
wish
can,
could.
since I like to force people to do things.
Well, that's true. You could stop the world from living. Please come here, all the way over here, and stop the world from living just so we can do this for an hour. This may sound stupid. I didn't realise Point Break was a police movie before watching it.
So you
I
just
didn't
thought it was a surfing movie.
I just thought it was a surfing buddy movie with Keanu and Patrick Swayze, just being all surfy and being like... I thought there was some sort of like... Maybe it was a rival surfing gang or something like that. I don't
That would
know.
have been interesting.
I didn't realise Keanu was this undercover police detective who was infiltrating the and maybe I'm an idiot for saying all this, but that's the point of the show, isn't it? For me to
Yes.
to learn
discover
these things,
these
to
things,
discover
yeah.
these things, as we like to do with older movies on It's a Wonderful Podcast. And another seamless and shameless plug right there.
Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate being told I've done a good job. Feels nice in my heart. And whenever anybody says that. But yeah, for some reason I had no idea it was a detective-based movie. It was very appropriately silly, as I thought it would be. Very over the top, but that's kind of what I like about 90s action movies. Well, I mean,
It's not afraid to just kind of go there.
Not at all. One of my honest to God favourite action movies of any time is Face Off.
Yes. You know, I
With
saw that in a drive-in movie. It was a
oh
double feature
yes,
with Con Air.
oh that's a good yeah.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yes.
But that
It was
you know
great.
that movie with obviously Nick Cage and Travolta is the most insane thing you've ever
Yes.
seen. It's so over the top, but it's just so
It works somehow.
it works so well. Somehow everything's set up in that it all you acknowledge that it's over the top, but it all fits into this world that you've been presented with
Yeah.
from the start, which is exactly the same with Point Break.
And
what
you
I
play it straight. So that also makes it work. Because even though it's ridiculous, they're kind of aware of it, but they still just play it straight based on the world they've built for you. So
Yeah.
you just kind of go with it.
I mean, yeah, you get some lines of dialogue in Point Break. Keanu, of course, renowned for his fantastic line delivery,
Oh, yes.
as we've found out with the John Wick movies. And we knew anyway from various other Keanu movies. Loved some of. Yeah, I actually thought this was one of his better performances that I've seen.
Yeah, and it was an
Maybe-
early one. How does it
Yeah.
kind of compare for you to Keanu now in the John Wick movies?
Look, I mean, I think he's way more of a badass now. He's clearly still a sort of romance type back then.
Yeah.
You know, like only a year after this was when he did Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, God.
Yes, oh God, it's horrendous, his performance in that honest, wonderful movie. But, he's the romantic lead in that, really. He's Jonathan Harker. But then, I think Point Break is a better performance than The Matrix, and that might be just because I don't like The Matrix. And I know, don't hate me, guys, it's just, I don't like The Matrix.
Do you think they're
I don't-
overrated?
I think it's wildly overrated. I think at the time in 99, maybe, with what The Matrix is talking about and with what technology in the world was doing in 1999, and it was just growing so quickly, the whole, whether it was computers or, personal computers, whether it was the evolution of the internet or just people realizing there was way more to the World Wide Web, as it's known, than they realized, and being fearful of that. I think that's what The Matrix really does well. But also, it has to be watched or viewed in 1999 first for you to actually get any effect.
Yeah.
See, I saw The Matrix for the first time in, 2014.
Oh.
So it's just like, this is dated and not in a good way.
Yeah, it doesn't really hold up well. But can you admit that it did bring some innovative things to
Oh, of
the
course
world
it
of
did.
action?
Of course
If
it did.
nothing
Look,
else.
I've nothing against the way The Matrix looks or anything like that. I happen to really like that.
Just the story
It's just
is
the
very
story of it and
dates
the
it.
themes. The themes, it's like, what, are we going to talk about Y2K next or something like that? The Matrix, come on. And, it's a shame, really, because what that movie does well is, it innovate the action and the way action shot, the cinematography is great, Lawrence Fishburne's great, and Carrie-Anne Moss is great, and Keanu's good.
It's just
I
the
think-
story is very
It's not even the story, I like the story, it's the themes.
okay.
It's what it's saying that's just like, wow, we are so far past this already. like you can look at movies from the 70s and from even, before, from the 50s, from whenever it is, and some messages still hold true. That's not what The Matrix does.
Okay, I can see that.
The Matrix is made for its time, wonderful for its time, but it wasn't made to last. If they thought it was made to last, they were seriously underestimating further developments in technology.
So it just didn't have the staying power for you.
No, and after my little 5-minute, I don't really care for the Matrix discussion, Point Break.
Point Break. So in discovering that it was actually kind of a cop film, how did that inform you going through the rest of the movie?
Well, it made more sense to me now that I realised it was.
That it wasn't just like some rival surfer gangs movie.
Like, why do people love this daft surfer movie so much? Oh, it's a proper action movie with detectives and an actual story and the ex-presidents, which I really like.
Yeah.
I really like those as a group of criminals. I would very much enjoy to own a Jimmy Carter mask or something like that. I think
I do have a Reagan mask.
Oh, do you think the Reagan mask is the best mask?
I think it is.
Not the Nixon. Nixon's pretty pretty recognisable.
And he does say the line in there.
He does.
I am not a crook.
Puts his arms up and it's very well done.
Yes.
Well done, that one surfer dude who I forget the name of. What would be the best president to get a mask of? Teddy Roosevelt with the mustache. Definitely Teddy Roosevelt with the mustache. Anybody with a mustache. More presidents should have mustaches, Jeannine, as far as I'm concerned. More world leaders, male or female, should have mustaches. The female leaders of the world should just grow a mustache or
just glue a fake one to their face.
Get a fake one. It adds an air of it makes you look distinguished. A nice mustache.
If you say so.
It commands respect.
Doesn't make a woman look like a circus freak.
No. It makes her look distinguished. And it commands respect.
Okay.
However, I do think the current president would look terrible with a mustache. As he looks terrible generally.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
Save your facial hair mustache Hall of Fame for It's a Wonderful Podcast.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
Good point. Teddy
Don't
Roosevelt.
Bring that mustache talk in here.
No. Oh, okay. We are not allowing any mustache talk on Morgan Hasn't Seen. Okay, that's fair. I'll just go back to the other show and just let you take over. Then
I'm gonna force you to not talk about mustaches.
Okay. What do you love most about this one? But Point Break. Is the one little element, because you know what the one little element I love the most is?
What's that?
Is because you've got the leading duo of Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves, two very attractive men, paired with Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Who is
the
most
good.
insane madcap human being you have ever seen in your life.
He's got some great lines.
Yeah.
Some great insults. I love that he has Johnny Utah's back, even though he's like a new recruit.
He hates him.
He hates him, but he's also there for him when, when he needs
the going
his help.
gets tough.
Yeah.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going. Did you know that?
I didn't. No, thank you for making me aware.
Yeah. It's a strange. But yeah, some of your favourite things about Point Break.
Definitely Gary Busey. He's great. Like you said, this is early Keanu. He usually is a lot better with limited dialogue. But I mean, of course, he was the lead, so he had a lot to say. But he actually pulled it off really well.
Yeah.
Maybe because, at that time he was really known as that, like, whoa, surfer dude guy.
Well,
that
he could Bill and Ted.
He could pull off, that delivery in that way, and it worked.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how he got away with, not limited dialogue and still delivering it well. But yeah, the chemistry between him and Swayze was really great. And I liked that whole conflict of, he's supposed to be investigating him, but then he actually bonds with him and develops a friendship with him and falls in love with someone who's involved with them. And so he's kind of stuck. So that added another layer of, something interesting.
That's also really why I really like the end of the movie. When Keanu just lets him ride the wave.
And they're like, you're letting him get away. Like, where's he gonna go?
Where's he gonna go? Just let him. Patrick Swayze is happy surfing for the rest of time.
Yeah.
He's not gonna cause any grief for anybody else if he's riding that wave.
Yes.
And but it's also it's the case of where's he gonna go? But it's also like, okay, old buddy, I'm gonna let you have this one, even though I really shouldn't. But I'm gonna let you have it anyway, because secretly, you're my best friend and I love you.
Yes. So be prepared for that. Hold on to that moment for when you watch
holding on.
The Fast and the Furious.
Except it won't mean as much to me, will it? Because I don't care about Vin Diesel.
Maybe you will after watching The
Doubt
Fast and the Furious.
I care way more about Vin Diesel when he's portraying a tree.
Well, just picture him as Groot, and then maybe...
That would be better. That would get me interested in a Fast and Furious. Just have everybody else, and then Groot. No, Rocket's not even there. Rocket's on his own. Just have Paul Walker and Michelle Rodriguez and whoever else is in the damn movie.
We will cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm just making you aware that you should hold on to elements of this movie because, yes.
Yeah. But
it may inform your thoughts of that movie coming up.
However, I already enjoy Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves, which does help this movie.
Yes.
And will hinder Fast and Furious because
they will never be Patrick Swayze and
because
Keanu
they will
Reeves.
never be Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. I just don't get it, Jeannine. I just don't get it.
Well, maybe you will.
I don't get it. I don't get why it's so huge. It's a car movie. Who cares?
Because there's nothing else like it, I think. And it's very meta.
You just said Point
they
Break
get
was
very
like
meta, where they just know it's ridiculous, and they're just trying to entertain you, but they're highly aware that what they are doing is not even in the realm of reality. So they're just going to go for it. And I appreciate that.
Is the current Fast and Furious as ridiculous as 90s action movies?
I would say yeah.
Why
Except
wasn't
it's
it
like...
made in the 90s then?
Because no one was creative enough to think of it.
You know what action movies have developed into today? They've developed into John Wick. The perfect action movie. That's what action movies should be like. We are not still in 1995.
Well, 1995 was a good year, Morgan.
Well, The Rock was released in 1995, which is another great silly action movie with Nick Cage.
That was a good year. Good year.
Yeah, it was. But also, it was that year for a reason. You won't make The Rock with Nicolas Cage now because it wouldn't work.
Well, you know what? You're going to watch those movies, so stop trying to fight it, okay? And let's talk about Point Break.
Okay.
So, what did you think of Kathryn Bigelow's action direction. There was a
Re-
nice little
really
chase
good,
in
really
there.
like it. Yeah. The whole chase through through all the houses and that.
And
the,
him
all the
like kicking
neighborhoods.
a dog.
Really good. Yeah, that was weird. To see Keanu Reeves be cruel to an animal.
Swayze throw a dog at him and then him kicking, and you hear the dog go, "Ah!"
Yeah, it's kind of horrible. Keanu has grown as a human being since then.
Yes.
Since
But
1991. But
there are actually some good action sequences. There's a whole shootout. There's the chase. There's also that skydiving scene where he jumps out of the plane without a parachute. And a gun.
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto the goddamn skydiving scene in a minute. I also think the robberies are really well staged.
Yes.
And really well shot. Kathryn Bigelow swinging and hitting it so cleanly.
Yes.
And straight into the river that that runs behind the stadium. And the baseball sinks down to the bottom. It was hit that well.
Yeah.
By Kathryn Bigelow. Great baseball player and also a great director.
Definitely.
She's probably not a good baseball player. I don't know. She might be. Was she in a league of their own? No, she wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
That was Gina Davis.
And Lori Petty, who was in this movie.
And Lori Petty, who is also in this movie. Who, I don't know if it was the first time I saw Lori Petty in Orange is the New Black.
Yep, that's her.
A few seasons ago.
But she was
that's what I'm
such
saying.
a
I don't know if
babe
that
in this movie. Like, wow. Yowza.
I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that was the first time I saw her. I don't know if I'd seen her before that show.
So you hadn't seen A League of Their Own?
No, not at that point.
Oh, okay.
Not at that point. Yeah, I mean that was a while ago now, and I fell off that show fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, me too. Which I guess is another connection, because guess who else was in Orange is the New Black? We discussed.
Keanu Reeves, no. Who else was in Orange is the New Black?
Ruby Rose, who was in John Wick Chapter 2.
And the adjudicator from John Wick 3 was in Orange is the New Black. Damn, Orange is the New Black and Keanu Reeves movies.
Yeah.
Why does that show keep coming up?
I don't know.
All the damn time. It's got a big cast, that's why.
Yes,
it's got a big cast.
I think so.
But no, Lori Petty's great. Her relationship with Keanu's really good.
And the fact that, he lies to her to get an in with her, saying his parents died because her parents died. And that's what hooks her.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have been as bad if, he was undercover and that's what he lied about. But the fact that he manipulated her emotions by saying his parents died, that was definitely hard.
Saying that is a little bit next level, I am afraid, Mr. Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
What if he was called Johnny California?
Well, that would have totally been perfect.
Johnny Montana. Johnny Montana works, although it's not really a surfer name, is it? That's more of like a hunter.
Yeah.
Johnny Florida. He's just a alligator wrangler.
Yeah,
Johnny
Wisconsin.
Johnny Delaware.
No.
Where he likes boats. I don't know what do they do in Delaware? It's so small. Do we know someone who lives in Delaware?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sorry for anybody who does live in Delaware. Do you like boats? Let us know. Let us know if you like boats. Or is that Maryland? Does Maryland like boats?
Yes.
Maine likes... Maine. Johnny Maine. Maine likes boats.
And lobster.
Johnny Illinois. Johnny Texas, where you've just been.
Yes.
Johnny Texas sounds like an oil magnate.
Yeah. Like a Texas Ranger.
Or a Texas Ranger. Walker Texas Ranger is the only Texas Ranger I know. That doesn't star Keanu Reeves.
No, it does not.
I don't know who that does star, actually.
Are you serious?
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Chuck Norris.
Oh, is it Chuck Norris? I don't know. I've never actually watched an episode of Walker Texas Ranger.
Me neither, but it's Chuck Norris.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise it was Chuck Norris, actually.
Conan O'Brien, when he had his show, he used to have this segment where he would have this, I think, whatever network the show was on, they had the rights to Walker Texas Ranger. So he would have this Walker Texas Ranger lever, and he would just randomly pull it throughout the show, and it would just like show some crazy clip from Walker Texas Ranger where he was doing something ridiculous. Like he's a Texas Ranger and he's like doing karate on some guy or something.
Well, it
random.
is Chuck Norris. He has to be doing karate.
So yeah, Conan would just like be talking about something, and then he would just go ha and like pull the lever, and then it would show some random clip.
I think the only thing I've seen Chuck Norris in is Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee when
he's very hairy in that one, isn't he?
He's incredibly hairy. Bruce Lee grabs onto his chest hair and rips a chunk out and then blows it off his own hand. It's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big old fight scene between Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, of course, everybody's cheering for him. Yay, Bruce Lee.
Well, speaking of fight scenes.
Speaking of Walker Texas Ranger, no. Speaking of fight scenes, what?
I think one of the first ones in this movie was that big crazy shootout.
With the police and the ex-presidents.
No, it's with some guys he's possibly thinks are before he's even on to Patrick Swayze and his crew.
Oh, okay.
The guys that beat him up, and then Patrick Swayze helps him fight with all his, Zen ninja moves.
That's what I like about Patrick Swayze as well. Big fan of yoga in this movie.
Yeah.
Big fan of all that stuff. He's very California surfer dude.
He is.
And I appreciate that. Although I don't appreciate the weird little blonde beard. He looks like Thor in the first Thor.
I thought you'd like that. You were over here gushing about mustaches and you don't like his beard.
Well, it's not really a beard, is it?
Guess not. Just some scruff, some surfer scruff.
It's an overly blonde Chris Hemsworth in the first Thor beard.
Yeah, but at least his eyebrows are like a normal color.
That's true,
blonde.
but I also prefer dark hair, clean-shaven Patrick Swayze, Dirty Dancing Patrick Swayze.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Dirty Dancing Patrick Swayze.
We're talking about Patrick Swayze. Roadhouse Patrick Swayze. Also dark hair, clean-shaven.
Well, we're talking about this Patrick Swayze from Point Break.
And I'm saying he looks like Thor. He is very zen.
Yes, he is.
I'm not very zen. I like to be. I'm just not.
No.
I don't know. I should be. Maybe I should take up yoga with the ghost of Patrick Swayze.
You don't.
And speaking of the ghost of Patrick Swayze,
what?
Well, he also played a ghost. Did he not? Did he not play a ghost?
He did play Ghost in
the movie Ghost.
Yes.
So many linkages today.
Yes.
You're not about this at all.
No, I'm not. not so much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I force you to talk about Point Break?
Yes, I'm sorry. Please talk about Point Break. I'm sorry. I'm being ridiculous.
So what were some of your favorite parts in this movie?
Honestly, the chase through all the houses in the big neighborhood was really good. I
It
did
was really
really
well
like,
shot. Like you were
yeah.
with the action,
yeah, just going through all these different houses,
fences, and yeah.
jumping over the fences. Really well shot, really tense and pacey and great. And Keanu's still got a lot of fitness to him now. And he had it back then as well. Like I said, I also really liked all the robberies that we saw. I thought they were really well staged bank robberies. I like a good big scale bank robbery when it looks nice on in a movie, like the opening of The Dark Knight or
Oh yeah, that's great opening.
Dog Day Afternoon. Even though that one goes horrendously wrong, still it's a nice bank robbery. But yeah, I really like that. And the skydiving.
Yeah, that was
Which
crazy.
is so impressive.
It looked so good. Like that guy really didn't have a parachute because he
It's
just had a gun.
incredibly impressive. And I mean, I don't know how it seemed to last about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I actually watched that Bear Grylls guy.
Yeah.
He was doing an episode of like that show where they kind of talk to people and have them look at clips from movies and see how realistic they are. So he was watching a bunch of like survivalist kind of clips. And so yeah, like he watched this one and talked about it, how real that would be, because if you're falling from whatever distance they were falling from, would they really be falling that long? And no. So like literally he said from where they jumped from, that would literally be like not even, I can't remember how long he said, but yeah, it would not have been
like
that long.
30 seconds.
It would have been like 30 seconds. Yeah, I think that's what he said. So for them to be free falling all that whole time, to have time to like join hands in a circle and all of that,
talk
like,
to each other, have full conversations, and for minutes and minutes and minutes. We need our good friend Brandon to do a nice film physics on.
So that was deemed to be not very realistic, but it looked really cool. Like I want to know how they filmed that, because really today, had they filmed something like that, they probably would have like CGI'd the faces on, and it would.
Oh, of course they would.
But that was like real guys, and then just intercutting them, it still looked real, you know.
Yeah, it's super impressive. I think that's probably the standout thing about the whole movie. It's probably why it's still so sort of fondly remembered.
Yeah.
It's just the fact, just as an action movie with as much scale as it has, just for that whole big skydive. Like a lot of action sequence, like a lot of action movies do have that one big sequence
set piece
that everybody remembers. I know the Mission Impossible movies do that quite a bit,
which we will probably get to at some point.
Yeah, because me and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but they are. But
I know those movies do have like, the one big set piece in each movie, like, and that's what this skydive came across as to me, and I really appreciated it. I was kind of blown away by how well it was shot and the amount of sort of, you think about it, because they've probably only got one chance to do that.
Yeah.
They've not got, you can't go up there 5 times and do that to people.
Do that free fall jump and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't. So just to pull it off and pull it off so well is all applause to Kathryn Bigelow. Well, a lot of the applause to Kathryn Bigelow and all the stunt
people
and everybody else.
But like stunt people even back then, like they had to be nuts, because I mean they don't have a lot of the safety things in place that are in place today now, and they were doing just as crazy stuff. Like a lot of times now they do a lot of CGI and like green screen and all of that, but this was like all pretty practical. So
you're saying, hey, Bob, jump off this plane. Okay.
Without a parachute.
Yeah. Yeah. And he, they just say, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. So there were some iconic things in this movie that are like iconic scenes and quotes that you weren't aware were iconic things at the time.
See,
Did those
herein
things,
lies the problem.
once I pointed them out to you, can you see why they would be iconic things?
Are you talking about what is it? I am an FBI
I
agent.
am an FBI agent.
I mean, I guess it's
Just the delivery of the
Look,
line and like,
I don't know. I like to think I know a lot about movies. Maybe it's just the fact that I know a lot about older movies. Whether it is, but I never realised that line was anything, really. As far as Keanu goes, you have his stuff from The Matrix and maybe a bit of his stuff from Speed or Bill and Ted or whatever it is. Or even Bram Stoker's Dracula. Everybody knows that line because it's so badly delivered. What is it? Let me try and do it.
are you gonna try to do it like Keanu?
It's the werewolf one. Where he's talking about a werewolf. It's very bad. No, I don't even think I can do it. I can't remember it properly. But even his stuff in John Wick, that I've kept on doing the impression of like, yeah, I think I'm back, and stuff like that.
But do you see a
that,
difference
to me,
from him then and now?
Yeah, he's a little more chilled out in his speech.
Yeah.
He's a little more intense in his actual physical acting. I think he also picks his own stuff a lot now. Yeah. Maybe back then he was given these big leading man roles or romantic lead roles because he was the sort of next big thing.
Yeah.
And, he's had a solid career for
definitely
25 years, at least. Nearly 30 years. 30 years, pretty much. Wasn't Bill and Ted 1989?
I believe so.
So he's had a very, very good career. But it has changed into now more this sort of quiet intensity rather than the loud, shouty of Point Break.
Yeah.
And yes, he's still got the same look in his eyes a lot of the time that's just sort of slightly squinty and confused, but also focused. He's very focused.
Yeah, I do appreciate that about Keanu.
Still in Point Break, he comes across like that. But yeah, I mean, he delivers lines in this movie very sort of forcefully and on a bit of a grander scale, and I guess that fits with the movie because that's what the movie is too. Yeah. So maybe that's just the acting choice of the movie, but regardless, I really enjoy it.
So back to iconic moments, there was also the scene of them kind of like squaring off, and Swayze's on the fence in his mask, and he knows it's him.
Yeah.
And does he shoot him? Does he take the shot? No, he can't do it. And so he just lays back and shoots his gun in the air, screaming. That is very iconic.
You see Swayze's pretty eyes through the mask of Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Not quite got the same type of eyes that Ronald Reagan had.
No.
Dark and soulless. No, probably. I wasn't alive. Yeah, I like that.
Old. Thank you, Morgan.
Sorry. Parodied in Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, yes. Did you realize that's what was happening?
Once you pointed it out. Once you said, that was in Hot Fuzz. It's like, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was like, yeah. So it was Nick Frost on the ground.
It wasn't Nick Frost.
Wasn't Nick Frost?
Oh, it was. I'm sorry.
It was Nick Frost.
It was Nick Frost.
I thought I got it horribly wrong,
No.
but no, you got it horribly wrong, and don't I feel special because it's usually me that
No,
gets
I
everything
was-
horribly wrong.
I was thinking about the character Nicholas Angel, and that's what
Oh,
messed me up. Yeah.
yes, in all the Edgar Wright movies, I very much refer to everybody as the
Their
actor.
actor's name.
Yeah. Oh, it's like, oh look, it's Martin Freeman. Oh look, it's Bill Nye or whoever it is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
never
there's Peter
their
Jackson
character.
as Crazy Stabby Santa.
Yeah, crazy stabby Santa, or of course
Kate
Rory
Blanchett
McCann
as Jeannine.
as Kate Blanchett as Jeannine, Rory McCann as the big dude, the Yarp dude,
Yup. Yes.
who we all love, but that is Hot Fuzz, and that is not Point Break.
No. But they do homage
They
this
do.
moment from Point Break.
They do, and I liked that moment that that was at the end of the whole big chase
Yes.
that I really liked. And yeah, like I said, probably my favourite sequence in the movie. Again, it's strange to me because I didn't realise it was this kind of level of an action movie, and I'd always heard of Point Break being this great action movie and that you should watch it, and it was kind of silly, and it had Swayze and Keanu as these buddies. But I just didn't realise
That it was cops and undercover.
that it was
and
cops and undercover.
all these
and-
layers of
No,
deception and friendship and conflict and
exactly.
Gary Busey.
And Gary Busey. I knew Gary Busey was in the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realise I'd enjoy him quite as much
No, he
playing
was
off.
great. He was ridiculous.
He's
So
honestly great.
good. Yeah.
It's just so perfect and hilarious that you have Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Laurie Petty, who are all very attractive people in this movie.
And then
And
just
then
Gary
Gary
Busey.
Being all and gnashing his teeth,
But it works.
And
It works.
doing Gary Busey things. It does work.
It
It does
does.
work. Yeah.
So, fun fact. I was going to
Ooh.
base my very first schmoedown entrance on Point Break.
Were you going to pretend to be Patrick Swayze?
I was. I got the Reagan mask. I was going to wear
Wow.
a suit. I got the white gloves. I was going to do it.
I thought you were gonna, be a actual Patrick Swayze
No.
surfer and come in with a surfboard.
Yeah, no.
And
I
a
thought about
blonde
that
wig.
too. Like, I looked at surfboard earrings. Well, because the whole thing was like when Bonnie Somerville was in like the very early days of the schmoedown,
Yeah.
she went up against, I think, Makuga, and she lost because she got Point Break and she didn't know anything about Point Break. So that was kind of her.
Me.
So that was kind of her thing, was that she didn't know anything about Point Break. So that's kind of what she was remembered
okay.
for in her days of the schmoedown. So her being my first match, I thought, well, why not mock her shamelessly and come out as a character
not
from
do
Point
that?
Break?
Why?
So
not
when that
do
whole look did not work out, I at least tried to razz her on Point Break by choosing my 3 numbers based off Point Break things.
Okay,
but,
what was that? Now I'm intrigued.
I said 9 because that was Johnny Utah's college football number.
You
I
have
said-
such good trivia knowledge.
I said 2 because that's how many meatball subs Gary Busey orders. And then I was going to say 4 because of the 4, the presidents. But she
Yeah.
had already picked 4, and then so I just picked something
boo.
else. I think I just picked 3 because I like that number or something I said because she ruined my nice little...
I love that reasoning. I
But
picked
yeah.
2 because that was the amount of meatball subs that
To
Gary
which, when I
Busey
did
ordered.
say that, Christian quoted, he's like, 2. Christian quoted the line after I said that. But yeah, then my 3rd number was going to be 4 for the presidents, but then she had already picked it. So
trivia. Who are the 4 presidents in the ex-presidents?
Carter, Johnson, Reagan, and Nixon.
Boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
buddy.
See, you're going to win your next match, no problem. Providing all the questions are based around Point Break and how many meatball subs Gary Busey eats on any given Thursday. Maybe he orders 4 this Thursday. Who knows what Gary Busey does these days?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a great movie. I really like doing this as a bonus to the John Wick ones because it was really kind of a contrast of Keanu's styles.
Yeah, very early Keanu to Keanu now.
I mean, I think potentially the only more different Keanu we could have got was if we did Bill and Ted.
Yeah, which is something we can do so that we can maybe finally get you to watch Speed as the bonus.
Yeah, which is something. Yeah, which is something we can do because I haven't seen Bill and Ted either. Because you know what I do? You know what I do, Jeannine? I just watch the same Vincent Price movies over and over again. And yeah.
Which happy belated birthday, Vincent.
Yay! Happy birthday to the 3 of them, we should say. Happy birthday to Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, all 3 of you.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah, all within 2 days.
Wow, okay.
Lee and Price are on the 27th, I think Cushing's the 26th.
Ooh.
It's insane how all 3 of them
are like all together like that. That's wonderful.
All together. See all the wonderful pictures of whenever it's their birthdays, you get all the wonderful pictures of the 3 of them together, and especially the great picture of Vincent Price and Christopher Lee playing chess together and just laughing.
What?
It's great.
Wonderful.
It's great. I also commemorated the occasion by watching my favourite Vincent Price movie, The Haunted Palace, which everybody should watch. Jeannine hasn't seen. Probably a lot of people hasn't seen. Haven't seen. That's the right grammar.
The people hasn't seen.
But you can, judge me for all you want for not having seen whether it was Point Break or Bill and Ted or Fast and Furious or any other movie we have coming up. You haven't seen The Haunted Palace. And if you have, then yeah, okay, fair enough. I accept you as a human being.
Hey, but watched. You forced me to watch House of Wax and Theater of Blood, both with Vincent Price, and they were excellent.
Yeah, see, that's why you are not one of the people I'm talking about. The people who I'm talking about are the people that are like, what? You haven't seen Fast and Furious, but then refuse to watch a movie from before 1970. Those people are who I'm talking about. Not saying any specific names, because frankly I couldn't name any specific names. I'm just saying those people probably exist, Jeannine.
They do.
They probably exist.
And we hate them.
Movies. Were you aware that movies started at Star Wars?
No. That was the first movie.
The first movie ever. Oh yeah, maybe The Godfather was the first movie ever. Sorry, maybe The Godfather was the first movie ever.
And Game of Thrones was the first and only show ever made.
Game of Thrones was the first TV show of all ever.
The ending sucked. My life is over.
Oh, let's not get into...
I think they need to be chilled like Patrick Swayze in Point Break.
You know what?
Just ride the wave, baby. Just ride that final wave.
That is a perfect thing to say. Let's not all get riled up about things. Let's just take things for what they are. It's the best way to go about your day. Like
Point Break.
Like Point Break, we take point. If we tried making sense of Point Break, Jeannine, we'd hate it.
Yes.
Because it makes no sense. For example, the 6-minute skydive.
Exactly.
Brandon, come on.
Film physics.
Give me a
right
film
there.
physics.
It's right there for you.
It's right there for you. You know, we can link it. We
And
can
you
promote.
could do a cool
You can
segment about it on Action Movie Anatomy, because I don't know if they've talked about Point Break yet. I'll have to look. But
well, I don't know. You know, we could put a little advertisement in this show for you if you did that. But you know, you need to do the film physics, Brandon. You need to do it.
yeah.
It's good. You're very good at it. And
I mean,
was our little plug of Brandon just
show.
there.
Film physics on YouTube. Find him, Brandon Hanna.
Find him at Brandon Hanna all over. Wherever Brandon Hannas are picked up and bought on auction.
Where Brandons are bought and sold.
Have you ever been to a Brandon auction? I have.
You have.
It was our friend Brandon was there, who we have been talking about. Brandon Routh was there.
What?
Brendan Gleeson was there, but he wasn't allowed in because he wasn't called Brandon.
Your name is Brandon.
And Brandon, someone else called Brandon.
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee was there, but he was a ghost.
Posthumously there.
And Brandon, there'll be someone out there called Brandon.
The Builder.
Brandon Stark was there as well. He was allowed in because he orchestrated the whole thing.
Because he is now the king.
Yes. We got
the 6 realms. We did it. I didn't think we would be able to have any Game of Thrones now that it's over. But we did it.
We got there. We aren't refusing to talk about Game of Thrones because had we seen it the last time we recorded?
No, we were waiting for it to come.
We hadn't seen
I don't think
the
we
finale yet. You know what? Let's not talk about it because I'm sure, to be honest, people probably get our thoughts on it. We put them out there. We like to hold our hold our noses up, but we like to be all like, well, I just liked it, and I'm sorry
for what it was,
like
and yes, it could have been better. Yes, it could have had some interesting things, but that doesn't take away from the brilliantness of what was.
Maybe it comes off as distant, Jeannine. Maybe it comes off as not caring about anything. Maybe it comes off as maybe we're heartless to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just like seeing the positive in things.
Maybe.
Which is how I like to view it. That's how I like to view the situation that we are in with Game of Thrones.
Like to view the situations in this movie.
Absolutely how Patrick Swayze liked to view the situations, even though he was a bank robber.
And he went out the best way he could have gone out.
Riding the wave.
That's right.
On his glorious surfboard with his hair flowing in the water and getting all salt in it. Just like to say, before we do wrap up, I hate beaches and I never want to go on one ever again in my life.
Okay, Anakin.
Not a fan of beaches at all. You can make fun of, you can call me Anakin Skywalker all you damn well please. He is not wrong when he talks about sand.
He gets everywhere.
He just isn't. It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere. You are quite right, Mr. Skywalker.
Oh, that's why you like the prequel so much.
That is the only reason I like the yes. That is the only reason I like the prequels, not all the other great stuff. Yeah, that's pretty
to
much
close
it.
out.
To close out,
you did really enjoy this movie.
I really, really did. I don't think I quite as enjoyed it as much as the John Wick movies, but it's a very different movie.
Yeah.
It's certainly up there in the realm of wacky 90s action.
Yeah, I
for me,
really enjoyed it too. Like, I actually didn't see this like years ago. Like, I actually saw it pretty recently, maybe like 2 years ago. I saw it. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it for the 90s action that it was. There was some stakes. It was a bit silly. It was funny.
Yeah.
Chemistry between everyone was really well done. Some great action sequences. Kathryn Bigelow did an awesome job. So, yeah.
She really did, and it's great to see. But yeah, you just gotta watch Point Break for what it is. It's stupid. It's nonsense. It's huge, and it's grand, and it's kind of weirdly homoerotic, but that's not bad.
Oh, wait till I make you watch Top Gun.
Oh, well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Volleyball and massaging each other's bare chests. Even though Tom Cruise is 5'0". Jeannine's just laughing at me right now.
No,
and I like that.
Not at all.
Yes. Really liked Point Break. Really enjoyed the whole Keanu Reeves series, as Jeannine alluded to before. The next series is
Men in Black.
Did you allude to it before?
I don't know. I don't think I did.
I
think we skipped over that and started talking about Fast and Furious.
That's true. I just feel like that was a better way to lead into what you were going to say. So that's why I said,
so
as
I'm
you
just going to pretend like... Yeah.
Because we do work on a script on this show, if you weren't aware.
Yeah.
It's a very weird script.
We stick very tightly to it, don't we?
Stick very, very tightly to the script. You know, everything about Roadhouse was in there.
Yeah.
And everything about everything about everything else was in there as well. But yes, we are doing Men in Black. Because guess what I haven't seen, Jeannine?
Men in Black.
Men in Black. I haven't seen Men in Black, I'm afraid. Do you know why I haven't seen Men in Black?
Why is that?
Because I was too busy watching Casablanca. Oh, the eye roll.
No eye
That's
roll.
Evil.
No, not at all.
That's evil.
Casablanca's wonderful.
Yeah. Didn't fall asleep. Didn't fall asleep watching Casablanca. So I just watched that instead of watching Men in Black. But I'm excited to watch Men in Black. I really like the ride at Universal Orlando where you shoot all the aliens.
And this is all in anticipation of the new Men in Black movie with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson.
Guaranteed to be my favourite Men in Black movie
because
of all
you
the
love
Men in
your
Black
Asgardians,
movies.
Don't you?
Because I love both of them. They are my dream people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super anticipating this movie, but I do really
not
like
even
them.
for them too. Not even for them too.
I just really like them, so I was not really keen on like another one. Okay, but it's them, so it might actually be kind of fun.
Isn't Emma Thompson in the movie as well?
Yeah.
I like Emma Thompson. Not seen Emma Thompson in something for a while. I can't remember what the last thing I saw Emma Thompson was in, but she's great as well.
She's actually in a new movie with Mindy Kaling.
Oh, okay. What's that?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's like she's a late night host. And they're like gonna fire her because her perspective is just way outdated, and her whole writing staff is men. So she looks for a female writer, and the female writer is Mindy Kaling, and so that she kind of helps like punch up her monologues and tries to help her keep her job as this late night host. Yeah, it actually looks really good.
What's that on? Do we know? Is that Netflixy?
No. Well, you might get it in Netflix since you got Isn't It Romantic on Netflix when it was still in theaters. But it should be coming out in theaters actually. So
okay. That's cool. I like Mindy Kaling. I've always liked Mindy Kaling. People don't like Mindy Kaling for some reason. I don't know why.
I love her. She's hilarious.
I'm a big fan of Mindy Kaling.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
so
we
cool.
will be watching Men in Black 1, 2, 3.
3. And international.
International. And then our bonus film, we will be doing our first poll, Morgan.
Poll.
Yes.
Do you want to reveal what's on the poll yet, or should we leave that for the poll?
Well, I will just say that it will be Will Smith movies that Morgan hasn't seen will be on the poll.
Despite the fact that Will Smith, we don't believe, is in Men in Black International.
No, but he is a huge part of...
Yeah, he's in 1, 2, and 3.
3,
so,
yes. So...
it's pretty important. Welcome to Earth. That's from Men in Black, right?
Morgan hasn't seen.
Is that not from Men in Black? Is that from Independence Day?
That's from Independence Day. So you can guess what's going to be on the poll. Thank you, Morgan.
Is, what's the one from Men in Black? They're both to do with aliens. Yes. Will Smith.
Will Smith has done a lot of science fiction for a black dude from Philly.
Will Smith has done a lot of science fiction for a black dude from Philly.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to end the show. And it's also a great way to end the show with me misquoting Men in Black as Independence Day. Because guess what else I haven't
Morgan
seen?
hasn't seen. That's number 1 on the poll. That's winning the poll. Thank you for revealing. I was trying to be like cool and not say what was on the poll yet and build up some anticipation. And then you had to go ruin it.
Look, I'm British. We don't care about Independence Day. We are literally the opposite of Independence Day. Literally the opposite. That's who you are celebrating your independence from, is us. So, what am I supposed to do?
Fair point.
I'm supposed to watch Dependence Day, which is just the other one.
This is independence from aliens, not from the British. Okay,
it's still about the 4th of July.
Get over it, Morgan.
It's still about 4th of July, is it not?
Get over it. It just takes place on 4th of July.
Is it not still about
independence from aliens?
America's freedom from its overlords.
No, because the whole world is involved.
Why? Okay.
So anyway,
so it's just the US being self-centered, is what you're saying to me.
Okay, well, definitely, people. Now I really want you to make that win the poll, just because he's being.
The poll isn't even up yet. The poll won't be up for ages. I want to watch. What are the other ones going to be on? Enemy of the State. I want to watch Enemy of the State.
See, you're ruining all the anticipation for the poll.
Sorry,
done with you. Done with you.
Maybe we will change the poll over to different ones. Who knows?
I'm gonna put After Earth on the poll.
No, please God.
Can you just watch that by yourself?
Are you telling me you have seen that movie?
I haven't seen it, but I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I just make you watch that one by yourself?
No. Because then we wouldn't have a good show, because it would just be me talking about that and you going, I didn't see it. You
could just bitch about Independence Day while you're talking about After Earth. See, another science fiction movie.
Another science fiction movie. It's a good job. I do really like Will Smith, and I'm very much looking forward to the next series, which is essentially a Will Smith series. If the bonus one is Will Smith / Men in Black, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
just as fun as the Keanu one has been. Jeannine, what are you doing? Where can everybody find you? What are you getting up to? Are you having fun?
I am having fun. So, yeah, in the schmoedown world of Jeannine the Machine, I will be going up against Mike Kalinowski, my bitter rival. If you've been following all our beef on the socials, it's getting pretty heated.
Very heated. There was a whole article about it.
Yeah, all the beef. And Brandon Hanna, who we mentioned before, he got way into the beef too. So yeah, check it out.
You did.
You can check out my articles, Machine Monday, on triviasd.com. I have a TeePublic shop at G9 Design and a Patreon at Jeannine LC. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jeannine Dubbing. And yeah, that's what I got going on.
Well, that is wonderful. Guys, thank you for listening to another series in its entirety of Morgan Hasn't Seen. I am Morgan and I haven't seen stuff, and I will continue to annoy you all by not having seen all these movies that you profess to love, even though you haven't seen any of the movies that I profess to love. So, give and take, guys, come on. Let's be reasonable here. Let's not shout at me for not having seen Independence Day.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, guys. Okay, I'm working on it.
You haven't seen 1933's The Invisible Man, okay? I like that movie just as much as you like that movie, okay? Calm down, guys. Calm down. Calm down. I need to calm down. That's who needs to. I need to calm down.
Simmer down there. Simmer down.
Thank you for watching. You're not watching this because it's not video. Thank you for listening to another episode of Morgan Hasn't Seen, talking Point Break from 1991 to wrap up our Keanu Reeves series.
Series 2.
Series 2 on the show. Get ready for Series 3 coming next week with Men in Black 1. And you can also check out It's a Wonderful Podcast, the main show on this feed. That's why the feed is named after that show. With me and Nolan Dean, where we talk about all the older movies that I do really love. A lot of which I also end up not having seen. It is about discovering movies as well as celebrating all those wonderful older movies that people need to watch. It's essentially my... it's the opposite of this show. It's me telling people, go and watch this older movie that you've forgotten about because it's not from 1995. Whereas this show is very much sort of, Morgan, stop watching 1940s movies and watch this movie from 1995 that everybody else has seen. That's what this show is about. Is it not, Jeannine?
It is. And it works. So you get your balance. You get your classics.
Yeah, you get your balance on. You get your balance of movies on this podcast feed. You can check out the podcast feed wherever podcasts are found, on Apple Podcasts, where you can leave those nice 5-star rating reviews, because it really helps us, whether it is for the main show or for this show. We will love you forever if you do that. And download the episodes, like I said, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Stitcher, or Podbean, wherever else you might find podcasts. There's a lot of places where we are at. I'm sure you can find us on whatever thing you use for podcasts. Just hit that download and help us out, because we love doing it and we want to know that you love us doing it as well. And that's always nice. And to let us know, follow the podcast on Twitter at It's a Wonderful One with a number 1. And let us know. Use the hashtag Morgan Hasn't Seen or the hashtag It's a Wonderful One to talk to us about the show, the feed. Let us know what's going on. Let us know if you like the movies. Shout at me for not having seen Independence Day or Fast and Furious or Point Break up until now. And then I'll shout back at you saying, well, go and see, The Third Man with Orson Welles and Joseph Cotton. And you'll be like, no, I don't want to watch that. You won't be like that. You won't be like that. I have more faith in our listeners than that, Jeannine.
I would hope so. I would hope so, Morgan.
In them all. But yeah, check me out on Twitter at the Purple Dawn with a 3 instead of the E in the, because 3 is the magic number. Or on Instagram at just the Purple Dawn with no 3. Yeah. Keep an eye out next week for the new Morgan Hasn't Seen on Men in Black 1. Keep an eye out this Friday for the last in Monster Movie May on It's a Wonderful Podcast, the main show, talking The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, the best title of any movie ever. There's been some such good titles on Monster Movie May, on the main show. We've had them. We've done Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We have done Night of the Demon. And now we are doing The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. And it's been a hell of a lot of fun to do some monster movies. It's something a bit different on the main show. And me and Nolan have loved doing that over there. So go and check that show out as well if you only potentially listen to this one. Because that's a lot of fun. Yes, we miss Jeannine, but we gain a Nolan. So it just depends who you prefer. I mean, if you
are you like
no.
putting us up against each other?
No. It just depends who the listeners prefer. Maybe they don't prefer anyone. Maybe they hate me and wish that you and Nolan had a show.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, if they hate me, why are they listening?
I mean, the show is called Morgan Hasn't Seen, so I don't know how it would work without Morgan, but...
I hope they don't hate me and my nonsense tangents that we have been on today. I've been in a weird mood, but is that a bad thing? Jeannine had to get me back on track sometimes, but until next time, guys, I think it's about time to say bye.